Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense is because on this platform we talk about um, everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I just want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Twitter, and I seem to have some technical difficulties on Facebook. So I apologize for those who are viewing me on Facebook. And I see here that we have someone who already started to comment, which is the one, the only, Nutstall TV. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all the people who have subscribed to my channel. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who watch my content on a regular basis. I also wish to thank all of those who have seen fit to allow me into your devices. And right now, there's currently 3 people watching the stream, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. But the show must go on. Now, tonight's topic is going to be what I call open discussion. And basically, I'm going to be talking about several things. So I'm not following a a strict agenda, so to speak. Okay. What I will do is I'm going to drop the link. If anyone wishes to join me on the panel, by all means, they may do so. And I just want to let everybody know that if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do prepare content, uh, I you will have the opportunity to catch it either live or catch it on the playback. Um, so what I'm going to be doing is the following. First of all, I'm going to be giving a summary regarding the previous live streams that I did this week. Then I'm going to be talking about some things that are on my mind. Now, before I do that, now I just want to let everybody know that next week there's going to be a slight change as it pertaining to the call-in shows. Um, I'm not going to be doing a live stream on Sunday. The reason behind that, I'm trying to take some time so I can have some me time, so I can relax, maybe go see a movie or spend time with the family while we still have a little bit of summer left. So that's the reason why there's not going to be a Sunday call-in show. Now, there will be a call-in show on Monday. However, the time for that will be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my personal life story, how I became a homeowner. Now, I did share this last year, but I'm going to share it again. And the reason why, because for many of us to be able to state that they're a homeowner, that is a major achievement. And the fact of the matter is, not everyone is able to say that. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing with you um, my personal experience of what I went through in order for me to become a homeowner. Okay, that's going to be on Monday at 6:30 p.m. There's not going to be a call-in show on Tuesday because unfortunately I'm going to be very busy that day. So for that reason, there's not going to be a call-in show on Tuesday. There will be a call-in show um, on Wednesday night and Thursday night. The time for both shows will be 8 p.m. And I will announce on Monday what will be the following topics. What I will try to do as far as Thursday is concerned, I'll try to do something that's going to be a little bit more spicy to try to think outside the box, so to speak. Now, after next week, we will resume a normal schedule, which will consist of the following: a Tuesday live in call-in show at 8 o'clock, a Thursday live call-in show also at 8 o'clock. Now on Friday, depending if there's a large enough of an audience, it will become a call-in show. If not, I will just give you my personal thoughts regarding um, what has happened during the week. Just give me a moment. I just need to do a text a message. Oops. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now I see there's currently 5 people watching this stream. Again, um, if you wish to add a comment, you can do so. If you wish to join the panel, you can do so as well. Now on Tuesday, our topic was how to maintain a professional relationship with your female coworkers. And on that topic, I shared some information regarding how to maintain a professional relationship. A lot of it had to do with keeping boundaries. A lot of it had to be mindful of what you say. Also, letting your significant other know that you do have female coworkers, so that way it can alleviate the level of mistrust. And we also talked about some of the problems that can persist when you're working with female coworkers. Some of them have to do with certain individuals who, for multiple reasons, decided to have a office romance. I don't know if I'm going to have a discussion on that. I doubt it because that's a very sensitive nature, and sometimes certain individuals do not have the maturity to discuss this issue. Now, yesterday we had a discussion regarding voting and whether or not do our vote counts. Now, what we did, we had a good discussion, and what I did was I gave examples where our vote does have a direct impact, but that's pertaining to local and community elections, such as the city council, the community board, school board. If you're involved with a union, your local union representatives, and then there were certain elected positions where our impact is not as much, and then there's others where our impact is very little. So, okay. Now, what I did today, as far as the disclaimer, which I always share before I guess get appear on the panel, I made some changes. Okay, what I did was I shortened it, and I also removed um, the part about if anyone appears to be under the influence of a chemical or foreign substance, that will be removed. I'm not gonna. That's not going to be included in the disclaimer. Anyone that does, but however, anyone does appear to be under the influence, they will be removed from the panel. Okay. Also, another thing I removed from the disclaimer is my request not to make any humorous remarks regarding my Wi-Fi situation. It is what it is. I might as well just, you know, take it and just deal with it. Hopefully, it will resolve itself. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you some things that are on my mind. Okay. Now this week I actually signed two petitions. Okay, and I'm going to be discussing the two petitions which I signed. Just give me a moment. And just as a disclaimer, I'm drinking iced tea. Okay, I don't drink liquor. Not on live anyway. So one of the petitions that I signed, I believe one of the biggest proponents of the petition is a YouTuber called Angry Biracial. And what it is to have biracial and multiracial community that recognized as a separate entity. And the reason why behind that is that, unfortunately, there have been people of, who are members of the biracial and multiracial community have been the victims of abuse, have been the victims of harassment. They have been singled out simply because one parent is of one phenotype and another parent is a second phenotype. And unfortunately, in some cases, there have been acts of violence perpetrated against the biracial and multiracial community. If you go to Angry Biracial's channel, I think in some of his videos there is a link if you wish to join, sign the petition, the granting an equal um, uh, status as a separate group, as a legal group protected by law. And I see here we have the presence of Tampa Supreme. Good evening, sir. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tampa, you're going to have, you recently did a live stream or you're going to go live tonight. I'm not too sure. So either way, if you are going to go live, just please indicate it in the chat so that way I can share it with the audience. Okay. The other petition of which I signed, and this has caused a great deal of controversy with certain people, is to declare ADOS and FBA as a hate group. Now, let me just explain to you what was the rationale behind the petition. Unfortunately, you had certain um, FBAs and ADOS who had said racist remarks regarding Africans and Latinos, and basically telling us to leave here and to go to our respective countries, and that they they are the only ones that are entitled to citizenship and the benefits of being Americans. Now, the reason that the petition is in place because you have certain individuals like Tariq Rashid, who has said racist remarks against Latinos and Africans. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind, this is a country of immigrants, okay? Everybody, and I repeat, everybody came from somewhere else. Um, the one, the African American community, there are many of them are the descendants of the slaves that came to this country, and then you have Latinos that came from Central, South America, and the Caribbean, who for whatever reason came to the United States to try to bring a better life. Now, unfortunately, um, the more militant and extremists of a group seem to have more of a say. And one of the issues, and I find disappointing, that the more responsible FBAs and ADOs are not calling these extremists out. And for that reason, there is a petition. Now, if you go to Radical Latino's channel, there are streams which he can give you more of a detailed information regarding that. Now, I understand that there are people that disagree with the petition, and that's perfectly fine. If you disagree, you disagree. If you choose not to sign it, you choose not to sign it. Now, unfortunately, um, Radical Latino has gotten a great deal of pushback by certain individuals that claim that his talk about black and brown unity is a hustle, is a lie. Let me make this perfectly clear. I have known Radical Latino for about a year and a half. Um, his number one goal is black and brown unity. And the reason why, because unfortunately, there is a great deal of racism still in the United States. And who are the usual victims of racism? Black and brown people. Those are people from the African American community, Africans, and Latinos. What's happening is, for this, it's becoming very clear which people are in favor of black and brown unity and those who are not. So the lines are being drawn, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of toxic rhetoric, and things done in an irresponsible manner, and it can lead to blindness, and that would be an extremely unfortunate situation. So, as I stated before, the link is in the chat. Anyone wishes to comment or I'll join the panel, by all means, do so. Now, I stated it before, and I will state it again. Ladies, if you have any topics that you want me to cover, by all means, please hit me on my Instagram account at cute1ny. For all those who do not have an Instagram account, you can hit me up at my email at negronjose62@yahoo.com. Now, the question is, why do I continue to do this? Because there are topics which ladies may want to be educated on. And it's not enough for me to discuss these topics. I also would appreciate your participation. Why? So you can share your own personal experiences and share your point of view. Because the reality is this: as much as I might research on a topic, um, it's not the same thing as living the topic. Okay? So I really would appreciate it if the ladies will hit me up with any suggestions. What I will ask is the following: please, no racist stuff, and with all due respect, I'm not into wretchedness. Okay? This is a this is a discussion channel where everyone, and I repeat, everyone, um, has the right to express their point of view. All views are accepted. Okay. What I am not going to accept is the following: I'm not going to accept anyone trying to out-talk me or anyone on the panel. I'm not going to allow anyone to disrespect me or anyone on the panel. Because what happens is, if you choose to go that route, you will be booted and you will be banned from the platform. Now, one of the individuals that seems to have a huge issue regarding Radical Latino and his push to get people to sign the petition to declare FBA or ADOS as a hate group is the one and only Zacharias. Now, I have seen his interesting remarks on Twitter. All I'm going to say is he is entitled to his point of view. However, I do not share his point of view at all. And now he's gone to declare Radical Latino as a racist. I have only one thing to say to Zacharias. You have two options: produce the receipts stating he's a racist. If you're unable to produce those receipts, then recant your statement. And while you're doing that, the same thing applies to me and to anybody else that you may false accusations regarding whether or not they're racist. Either produce the receipts or recant. If you choose not to recant, or you choose not to provide the receipts, then you're doing this for clout. Yes, you're doing this for clout. And if he go ahead and does an angry rant on me, I don't care. I literally don't care. First of all, as far as my persona, everyone knows the type of person I am. Okay. Have I made mistakes? Yes. Have I owned up to them? Yes. If I make accusations, do I produce receipts? Yes. Or I recant. Because that's what a responsible person does. When a person makes accusations, that person has two options: either produce the receipts, meaning show video clips, show statements, remarks, either on Twitter, either on Instagram, either on Facebook, either on YouTube, or in any social platform or produce video evidence where racist remarks were made. If you are not able to produce the evidence, recant. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. Now, again, as I stated before, and I'll state it again, I do appreciate all the love and support that all of you has given me, because you have literally millions of different creators that you could have chose to follow. And the fact that some of you had seen fit to follow me and to follow my platform means a great to me, a deal to me. And I see that it's not too much traffic tonight, but even with that, I've gotten 5 likes. So I just want to say thank you very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a few more minutes and see if there's anybody else that wishes to join the panel. Otherwise, I will end the stream. And I will let everybody know that um, the next time I'm going to do a call-in show will be, and I see we have a guest. And I'm just going to read the disclaimer. The views of the guests who appear on the channel are not necessarily the views of a host on the channel Uncommon Sense for host Negro. Any attempt to copy the material, whether the consent of the host or the channel, is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to the image of your channel. Some of the use which guests may hold may consider offense to some people. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And now we're going to bring in, if I can just give me a moment. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, Don José. ¿Cómo está?
Ay, muy bien. ¿Cómo fue tu día?
For a Friday, not bad for a Friday. I mean, a lot of things to do, yes, but still it went pretty smoothly. It wasn't too bad. Can't complain. How about on your end?
Well, actually, I had a pretty light day. I didn't have a lot of work to do, so I was able just to relax and chill, and then go
Mm-hmm.
home and have a little something to eat, and get ready for tonight's stream. Tonight we're having open discussion.
Okay. Um. Well, I mean, I heard what you were talking about, and the only thing that I can say about the whole thing about when it comes to get that out of the way, because I don't get it really into discussions of race like that. But the whole thing, I don't have a problem with the whole thing about the petition when it comes to the FBA, because I mean, one can only imagine what is it that they're saying over there about us on that camp.
Mhm.
So I think we have every right to give some pushback, because, of course, there are certain ties. There is a certain faction that will have a problem with Black Americans, and right now, just by talking about them, they will think that we're over here obsessing about them, and it's not like that. I mean, we're just responding to something that is being brought to us. So I don't have a problem with when it comes to the petition. I mean, but we remain kind of like to give the example. We still remain fairly open-minded people. So anybody from that community, the larger community, can come to us. They can come to us and talk to us, and we're not gonna have a problem with them. And we're not gonna be hostile towards them. So I know that we're gonna be doing that because I believe in us. Right? Kind of like being fairly level headed. I mean, so that's what I will count on for us to be doing. If there is any misunderstanding on that, we can have a dialogue. I mean, we're adults. That whole beef that they're talking about, that's something that is kind of like on the internet, because a lot of that has already been proven to be false, and it's all narratives and propaganda, and it's not something that is happening in real life. I mean, we don't have any power over them, so I don't have a problem with the
True.
petition. We cannot do anything to them. We don't have any power over them. Okay, somebody maybe didn't like one of them and said something to them. Okay, fine. All right. Maybe the person is bigoted or something. But the thing is that we don't have any power over them. So they're not being victimized by us.
Okay. One thing we have to make it perfectly clear that many, for the majority of the African American community, they don't have a problem with us, and we don't have a problem with them. It's just that unfortunately, you have certain individuals that have their own whatever agenda, that they have an issue with Africans from outside the United States and us is concerned. Now, one thing we have to continue to bear in mind: this is a country of immigrants. Okay, there is no such thing as a pure American. I mean, the closest thing to the pure American are the so-called indigenous people, um, like the Apache, the Cherokee, the Iroquois, the Cheyenne, and other such so-called Indians. And I think they came from somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken, thousands of years ago.
Yeah, the more commonly accepted theory, because I don't know if it has actually been confirmed. I don't know if the proper DNA tests have been conducted um, to confirm that. At least the ones that really look the most like they came from the Asian region, it will be the what are called the Inuits, better known as the Eskimos. Those are they're the ones that are usually kind of like the more, if you look at them, they're really the more Asian looking of the natives on this part, and kind of like in the northern part of the Americas, of North
Yes.
America, I should say. I don't know if DNA tests have been conducted on members of the different tribes that were located on this mainland. So I don't know, but that is usually the more commonly accepted theory when it comes to where did they come from, where did the natives come from. And
Okay.
so yeah, that's the one that is usually more
Okay.
more accepted. Hmm.
Yeah. Now, also another thing I talked earlier, next week's like live calling schedule is going to be a little different. Um, like for example, in the past I have done Sunday streams. I'm not going to be doing Sunday streams because I'm going to choose that Sunday as a day to do me, to
Hmm.
relax, maybe go see a movie or maybe some time with family to take advantage of the remaining weeks of summer.
Yeah, yeah, you have to enjoy
So
the this last days of summer. I mean, while it's still nice and warm, and you can walk around without having to put on layers upon layers of clothing. But I don't want to get into the weather talk. I don't want to do that. My bad.
now,
I didn't mean.
no, well, I wasn't planning to go there. Okay,
Hmm.
but so basically,
No, let's
next
not let's
week's
not
schedule.
go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah, because
But
we
it's
don't want
very
to give
pleasant.
the
It's
audience.
becoming when it comes to that, it's becoming very pleasant. When it comes to the weather, is actually only in the 90s, so it's nice. It's nice down here.
That's not pleasant. That's depressingly demonically humid.
No, 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 no. It is nice and pleasant.
Well, I'm glad that
Yeah.
I'm glad that you feel that way. I don't, but
Yes, sir.
let's not dwell too much on the weather. Okay, uh, so um, so Monday I'm going to be doing a live stream. It's going to be on 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central Time, and 3:30 Pacific Time. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing again my story, how I became a homeowner. Now, I know I did talk about it last year, but it's good to repeat it. So, first of all, it will give other people the inspiration to hopefully become a homeowner.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right.
Okay. Now, Tim, but that life Asuna, I hope that you're going to be pleasant. Okay. So let's continue this. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my life story on Monday. On Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be giving talking topics at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now I'll be announcing on Monday what will be the topics for those 2 days. Okay, and then the following week, I'm going to go back to my normal Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday schedule. So for the time being, I know in your case, Ramon, it's been kind of hard to try to find a time to do a live stream because it seems like when you try to plan something, someone else is doing something at the same time.
Exactly, exactly, and they're always gonna have a bigger audience, so it doesn't give me much of a chance. So I'm trying to figure as to where and when, where can I fit in a way that I can get people to watch. So yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I have to figure that one.
see, that's the reason why I'm trying to maintain a schedule. So that way,
Hmm.
other YouTube creators like yourself or the 18th letter will have an opportunity to air your programming because we do need
Yeah,
the co-op.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just
I mean, I recognize that that you have the bigger audiences. So it's like, well, that's not gonna make too much sense. I can't compete with that. So I have to fill a different slot. It's kind of like what they do on network TV. They have to find kind of like different slots for something, some type of programming that is not too big in ratings, so other programming can compete on a different time schedule. So it's kind of it kind of goes back to that. Yeah.
well, just remember, I have a small platform too.
Yeah. Well, no, no, it's growing. It's growing. You know it. It's growing.
Well, yeah, but it's growing because of thanks to all the love and support that the members of the Uncommon Folk has given me. And I just want you to please show some love to the introvert Vertigo as well.
Yes, yes, please. Come on,
Yes,
show me some love.
yes.
Mhm.
So, um, are you going to continue with your theme regarding self protection, or you're going to be talking some other topics?
Actually, I do have a couple of subjects when it comes to that on the self protection series. I want to continue that for at least two more episodes. I already have the idea as to what they're gonna be about, but I'm looking at the more recent developments when it comes to certain bills that have been passed that have to do with the with the Second Amendment. As you know, the Second Amendment is important to me, and I do believe that we should be able to protect ourselves, especially now these days where police departments are not being as responsive. And something that I keep telling people that is that don't count on the police to save you. Don't do that. That's a mistake because the only place where that works, where you don't have to protect yourself, and the police are always going to show up in the nick of time to save you from somebody trying to break into your house or trying to attack you or something like that. That only happens in the movies, in the cop shows, and the like. That's where that only happens. There is always gonna be these good-looking cops that are always gonna show up in the nick of time and save you. That's where that
Mhm.
happens. In real life, whole different story.
Well, in all fairness, okay, and of course I'm going to play devil advocate a little bit.
Mhm.
The fact of the matter is, it's not easy to be a cop. I mean, every move that you make is under extreme scrutiny, and if you make a poor lapse in judgment, on the one
Mhm.
hand, you can be injured or killed, or on the other hand, you can make a mistake, and next thing you know it, you'll be the subject of ridicule, of threats and lawsuits and things of that nature. So we do have to recognize the fact that our police, both men and women, have a very extremely difficult role to play.
No, I mean, of course, I will never say that being a cop is easy. Of course not. There are risks that come with it. But big, there are many officers that will admit it to that they will admit it themselves that they can't be there all the time. They can't show up. In a matter of self protection, seconds count, and it's always going to take several minutes for the police to show up. Uh, so, for real, you have to be thinking in a logical manner when it comes to that, and take whatever measures that you are allowed to take in the part of the country that you live in, so you can protect yourself. I mean, it's about protection, self defense. It's not trying to seem like some action hero from the movies that they could do whatever and save the day. No, no, no. Citizens, anybody who is citizen, if they're not law enforcement, don't act like law enforcement if you're not. But
No,
take measures for your own self protection.
yeah. Now, of course, you are aware I reside in New York, and in New York we have some of the most strictest gun control laws in the nation.
I don't know how
And
you do it. Yeah, I don't know how you do it with all the restrictions that you're talking about. My bad. I'll shut up.
well, let's keep it 1,000, okay? The reality is this. I mean, you have to go through so many hoops to legally um, be licensed to operate a gun and to purchase a gun, okay?
Yeah,
And with all that, we still continue to see spikes in crime as far as murders, assaults, um, and other
yeah,
serious crimes. Okay.
yeah.
And what people who are in favor of even stricter gun control laws fail to understand, the criminals will always manage to get a gun, no matter what.
Oh yeah, they get everything, whatever full auto, whatever machine gun with high capacity, and I mean high capacity magazines that they want to use. I'm not talking about a rifle that has a 30 round magazine. That's standard. But if they can, but that they can get a machine gun with something that has like between 75 and 100 rounds in it, fully automatic. They can get that on the streets. The criminals, the the people that are committing the crimes, gang members. They can get all of that, all of the
Yeah,
stuff that you see in the movies that looks really cool when they use it. But the law-abiding citizen is restrained from being able to protect themselves because that's how the politicians want it. They want people to be victims.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is true. It's sad, but it is true. But let's talk about a happy, happier things. Like for example, my birthday
Hmm.
is coming up. My birthday is coming up in October.
Ah, good, good.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I had my birthday at the beginning of the month, and a special someone had her birthday a couple of days ago. So, yeah,
oh, that's right. That's why I'm happy for the both of you.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Well, hopefully, my um Melia Naranja will be able to
Uh,
come visit me. Okay. Um, Now I cannot control when it will happen because
hmm.
that's up to forces beyond my control. However,
Right.
I will do everything possible to make her feel home.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You have to. You have to. I mean,
With
eventually, when I have the opportunity to get visitors, I have to do the same thing.
yes.
I have to start getting into that soon. Try to make the place a little more homey for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a couple places I would like to take her out to eat. There's a
Hmm.
couple places I like to show her. Not just beautiful Parkchester, which is
Uh
heaven on earth.
huh. Well, you're gonna take her to the beach. That you're wasting time. You don't take her to the beach. She's not gonna be impressed.
Oh, come on now. Our beaches are beautiful.
No, okay, but you have to take into account where she's from, and the and the type of weather and the beaches that are down there where she's from. So she's not gonna be impressed. I guarantee it.
Well,
So don't bother. Don't take her to the beach. Don't take her to the beach. She's gonna be like that. Like, is that it? This is what you call a beach?
no, she'll probably be like, oh, that's beautiful. I can see the blue water. I can see the sand. I can see...
Mm, no, 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 no. That's what she can do. That's what she can do where she's from. She can do that. There are parts in the DR where you can see the water or transparent down to the sand.
it's the same thing in here in New York.
Sure, sure, sure it is.
And of course, I got to keep it hungry. We do have a slight mouse problem.
I, I don't want I, I don't want my lady in New York. I mean, she's a small lady, so I don't want to. I want her to deal with those rats that are almost as big as her. Hell no.
I kidding. They're more afraid of us than we're afraid of them.
Nuh-uh, I mean, those rats in New York are mutants. They're something else. I mean, they'll steal your pizza or something.
Well, it's funny because I've been living in Ponchester for almost 5 years. I've seen squirrels. I have not seen one mouse in Ponchester.
Sure you haven't. Sure you haven't. Okay.
But
I won't
yeah,
argue
but
on that.
of course it'll be her first time to ride the subway, and
Mhm.
I do plan to take her, see some of the cultural sites. As
Mhm.
far as like St. Patrick's Cathedral, maybe some of the museums and things of that nature. Take her to try and
Mhm.
find a couple of nice Dominican restaurants that we can go eat and get to know each other better.
Good. Oh, that's good. That's good.
And if she comes in the winter, I'll make sure that she'll have at least two winter coats, and I'll have a couple of heaters to try to make her as comfortable as possible.
Right. Right.
Okay. Even though I don't think it's going to be needed, the heaters, but then again, she is coming from a place where it's eternal summer, going to a place that's slightly chilly.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
yeah. But, I'm looking forward to when Braddock's finished producing his documentary regarding open wounds. Um,
Hmm.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see. I want to see what else is gonna be featured. I understand that he's got some good interviews uh, on people that are knowledgeable, people that are have studied the history, and they can speak with some level of authority about it. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear what they have to say.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, by any chance, did you take a look at Radical's last podcast this week?
Yeah, yeah, I saw something about that. I saw something about it. I mean,
Okay. What's your
that
thoughts?
that's oh what are my thoughts? I get where he's coming from, um, but when it comes, I understand where he's coming from, and I respect what he's trying to say because it has everything to do with what has been his experience. Do I agree with everything that he's saying? I can't say that I do. I can't say that I agree with everything, but he has every right to have the point of view that he has, and he makes his argument, and I think that's fine. That's fair. But do
Mhm.
I necessarily agree? I can't say. I can't say that because then again, he's talking about the community, the Hispanic community here in the states. I get it. I get it. I mean, he's not really even talking about me necessarily because I'm the one who came here from somewhere. So it wouldn't be my place to pass judgment on his point of view. So I'm not gonna do that.
No, it's you know what it's understood.
Hmm.
Now, of course, we all know that in the end of this month, I'm planning a two-part series,
Hmm.
completely in Spanish, to learn about our community. Okay,
Yes.
and the reason why is that this is an attempt for us to understand each other a little better. And
Right.
those of us who are sincere will try
Hmm.
to get to know, for example, those of our Latino brothers and sisters who came from outside of the United States, and
Hmm.
they who are sincere will want to know about our experiences living in the mainland. Those who
Right.
choose not to, it is their loss.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I tune in. I tune into channels like yours or Radicals, because I'm trying to get an idea of what has been the diaspora experience. Because you were born and raised here, I wasn't. So my
Yeah.
experience is gonna be different. And
Yeah.
if anything, I'm trying to learn so we can find ways to relate. I don't believe in division. I mean, us as a community, we have to do the opposite of of being divided. There are certain people. So I'm not talking about friends of ours. That's not who I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are certain types that will want us to be um, divided, and we need to counter that because being divided only leaves us vulnerable. Being divided only uh, can only one can only be in decline. It will be the fall of us being divided.
Yeah.
I mean, let me give you an example. During the beginning of the 20th century, you will look at the Chinese. Politically, the Chinese were divided, and that left them vulnerable. That's why for a certain period of time, the Japanese were able to go in there and colonize certain parts because they were politically divided, and that left them vulnerable. And after that, when the Communist Party took over, at least one thing that they did do was unify the people. Uh, I mean, I'm not saying that it was good or bad when it comes to the means that they accomplished that, but at least they were able to unify the people, get the people on the same page, and that did at least made them more impervious to outside influence or interference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I think that we should be able to not necessarily think of ourselves as being the same, but at least being on the same page. And that's what I will want. And maybe to some people that is like wishful thinking. No, I don't like to see it that way. But there is strength in being on the same page. Maybe not necessarily unity. Maybe there are people that don't want unity, but at least we need to consider a proper alliance, a real
mhm,
alliance. Because if you want to talk about alliance, look at NATO. That's what it is. I mean, it's an alliance of countries. Each country has their own their own economy system of government. But they're allied with each other by contract, and there is at least on that they are allied. We have heard so many times about the allied forces when there is a major war, or at least the actual alliance that was during the first um, during Desert Shield, later to be known Desert Storm. You remember that, right? That was
yeah,
during the first Bush administration when they had to go to war. There were allied countries that went to war against Saddam Hussein because he got into Kuwait, and they were trying to get Kuwait back united with Iraq, and that's what that war was about, to so-called liberate Kuwait. Um, but there was an alliance of countries, different countries, and but each country retained its own identity, flag, whatever customs and cultures. Nobody has to lose the identity of who they are.
mhm.
So, but as Hispanics or Latinos, as one would like to see it, like we still can see things on the same page. Do we have differences? Of course we do. I've never said that we don't have differences, but I think that the things that we can have in common that could have an alliance will outweigh the differences.
Okay.
I mean,
I
that's
think
how I
I
look
think
at it.
yeah, I think one thing it will help if we recognize that in some ways we are alike and in some ways we're different. How we're different is our experiences. Like for example, you was born and raised on the island itself, and you
Yeah.
immigrated to the United States when you became an adult. In my case,
Hmm.
I was born and raised in the United States. So I don't
Hmm.
have the experiences that you and Denise and other people uh, have. And of course, I think another person would be great to share his point of view would be our friend Marcel, if if if,
Yes.
if he's available, because he has a unique situation where um, he's part Dominican and part Puerto Rican, and
Yeah.
we have the presence of angry biracial. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. I did mention earlier regarding the petition to make grant biracial, multiracial pit recognized as a separate group protected on the law due to the sad situation they have endured. And I did sign the petition, so I just want to let you know, angry biracial. Um, Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say a few words in Spanish. El propósito de necesaria es es para tratar a saber qué podamos aprender sobre nosotros. No solamente los latinos que nacieron de afuera, pero también los latinos que nacieron aquí en los Estados Unidos. Okay. And you're welcome, Angry. I really appreciate it. Um, the fact of the matter is, we have to bear in mind that an injury to one is an injury to all. And that's something to
Hmm.
bear in mind. And if you want to know more about the petition, uh, if you go to Angry Biracial's channel, there's a few of his videos where there is a link if you wish to sign the petition. Okay. Um, because unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that um, biracial and multiracial people had dealt with, and some of them
Hmm.
just being singled out for being biracial and multiracial. So, but I'm really looking forward to the series, and
All right. Yes.
so hopefully you will be available to share your experiences as a Boricua who were born in La Isla del Encanto. Hopefully Denise will
Yes.
be available so she can share her experiences as well. And then
Hmm.
I, as well, let's keep it real, a Gringo Rican, so to speak.
No, no Yorican, no Yorican. No, nobody's necessary. You have no Yorican with the gringo accent. Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, but at
you have
least
the. But you try. I mean, it's the same thing with my brother-in-law. I mean, who is also from the Bronx, and his Spanish is unfortunately somewhat broken. But we take it upon ourselves with my sister and I, and we try to kind of like let him know things, teach him things, so that trying to bring him up to speed when it comes to the when it comes to the Spanish. Yeah, because he brought up not so much with Spanish, but with English. Um, so there are certain things that we teach him. We're teaching about the island because he had never been to the island. On that only started when he got with my sister.
okay,
Even though he's fully New Yorican, both parents from the island. He's only first generation, but still, I mean, there were many things that he didn't know. He didn't understand, and he's having more of an understanding now because he's now going to the island, spending some time down there.
okay. Question: whose Spanish is worse, his or mine?
I haven't heard enough of my brother-in-law's Spanish to make a comparison, but I have heard him say some words. There are certain words particular that he has difficulty pronouncing, but I haven't heard enough of his Spanish to make a good comparison because at least you can communicate fairly good. I mean, you can work on it on certain words, certain terms, things of pronunciation, and the accent also. The accent is very important.
Hmm.
But I can't make the comparison to be honest.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, again, the whole point is to try to have somewhat of an understanding. And like I said before,
Mhm.
those who want to bridge the gap will do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so like I said, um, you hopefully Denise will share your experiences. Marcel,
Mhm.
I hope he shares some of his experiences. I even would love to see if Radical will be available as well, um, because he's
Yeah,
kind of
because
like.
he, yes.
Go ahead, Ramon. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's just I also wanted to say something about your microphone. That it kind of goes in and out a little bit, and there is this thump 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 sound that some like something is hitting it. I don't know what it is. Um, yeah, somebody like Radical will be good to also join because he can add to the diaspora experience. So that's important.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and in his case, he's been a very successful person himself. I mean, he has, not only does he have a very successful YouTube channel, but he's been successful in other areas as well.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. That's good.
Yes. So, again, people, the link is there if you wish to join the panel, or if you have any further comments um, that you wish to add. Now, again, let me just repeat it again. Ladies, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, by all means, please hit me up on my Instagram at cute1ny. Also, if you don't have Instagram, you can hit me up on my email at negronjose62yahoo.com. And if there's anyone that wishes to make a donation, no matter how big or small, you can hit the Cash App at $cute1ny. So I would, any donation will be deeply, deeply appreciated.
All right.
So unfortunately, no one has seen fit to hit me up with a donation. Maybe someone will someday. Okay. Speaking about Cash App, have you set up a Cash App for yourself?
Yes, yes, actually, yes, I have. I mean, I haven't because I don't stream so much. I haven't been able to put the link up for that or the address for that, but I'm gonna be doing that next time. So I do have a cash app, and I'll be showing it up.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool. That's cool. And
Hmm.
I see they actually gotten 8 likes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that I really appreciate all the love and support that all of you has given me. And believe it or not, I actually gained 15 subs so far this month.
Hmm.
So,
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I haven't. I know that
yeah.
I have gotten a few. I know that I have gotten a few subscribers. We're talking about like 6 or 7 or so, something like that. Not so much of a thing, but yeah. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. People that are subscribing, and I do plan on doing another live soon. Uh, just subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and you will know.
Yes. And of course, I want to let everybody know that the Angry Virus Show has his own YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe to his channel and listen to his content. He does have a great deal of material and he became monetized. So I just want to say a huge shout out to him because he has over 1,000 subs.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I understand that that's the threshold or the requirement to get monetized. You have to have a decent
Well,
amount. Hey, that's good.
well, actually,
Hmm.
actually what it is, you have to have 1,000 subs, and your content must be watched for 4,000 hours. And I see here we have the
Mm.
one, the only, the famous Golden Goddess. Good evening, Miss. How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. I do think you're gonna go live tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's gonna be 11:15 p.m. If you like to join the panel, you're more than welcome if you can. If you can't, I understand. Now, I just want to let everybody know that she also has a YouTube channel as well. And I just want to, if you have not done so, please please subscribe to her channel and show her some love as well.
Hey, Golden, what's going on? Hit the link. Hit the link.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Well, hopefully, if she's available, she'll join us. If not, and in fact, I think we have.
Hi guys.
Let's see if I can just bring her up.
Hey, Golden. Oh,
Okay.
come on, don't start kicking,
Okay.
kicking people out.
Sorry. No. It's just the. Okay. No. It's just the. Okay. Good evening, Gigi. Good evening, Gigi.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. Okay, you have a serious echo there.
Okay,
I do. Hold on, maybe I have a window open. Hold on.
Yeah, my computer is acting up. Okay.
Oh, but don't kick her out though.
No, I'm not trying to.
Oh, okay. You're having that thing.
Okay. Oops.
Is it
Okay.
something with
Hello,
your device?
Gigi.
No. We
I
don't
think
see her.
so.
She may be in your backstage.
Uh-oh. Yeah, let me just.
There is also that thumping sound. Is something hitting your microphone or something?
Hey, is that better? I had a window open.
Okay, let me see.
Okay. Good evening.
I can hear myself.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Good evening, Gigi.
Yes. Good evening,
Gigi. Hey, good evening. What you guys talking about?
We're just having open discussion.
Oh, okay. I'm tired as hell, but I figured I'd come up here and show some support. I've been catching you. You usually go live when I'm at work, so.
Well,
I see. Yeah, but something that I want to tell you is that you seem to have a tab open because I can hear myself.
Are you sure it's me? Because I closed my tab.
Well, it's just that I hear my voice while your avatar is kind of like showing, kind of glowing as if somebody talking, but I'm hearing my voice. So maybe you can check that. Yeah.
Well, I'll leave and come back up.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
It's just that it's difficult for me to talk while I'm hearing myself. It's kind of like something open there. Yeah, it should get.
Yeah, but as I stated before, she does have a great channel, and in fact, she's going to be live, I believe, tonight. Okay. Let me see if I can add her now. Okay.
Does it sound better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it sound better?
Yeah. We can only hear your voice now. That's good.
Okay, good.
Yes. No, but we're doing open topics. I mean, it's just that we were going from a couple of different things. So if there is something that you have in mind that you wanted to share.
Not really. You put me on the spot, Ramon.
No. We started. What was it? We started with the whole thing about the petition that you were talking about, Don Jose. And
yeah, actually, there were two. Actually, there were two petitions. One of them is to have biracial and multiracial people recognized as a separate group protected under law. And then there's the other one to declaring ADOS and FBA as a hate group.
Oh wow. No comment.
No, not so much with the
okay,
ADO.
you know what?
Because we're not.
But you know what?
Go on.
If you don't want to comment on that, that's perfectly fine. Let's see if we can get something that's not as controversial. Because
it's difficult. I will say it's difficult because there's, I guess, content creators that troll under the name of ADOS, or there is, I guess some channels there's always extremists in every group, right? But the fact of the
Yeah.
matter is as a biracial person, I am ADOS. You know what I mean? So I'm biracial and I'm ADOS. So, it is what it is. That's the interesting place that we have in that whole mix, as far as being mixed people.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
can
right.
only, at least I can only say because of me, I don't have a problem with ADOS. My issue is with certain FBAs. That's kind of like
Oh,
another
okay.
thing. That's a bit of another
Hmm.
thing. That's a bit of a cult. That the ones that are talking smack about us and how racist we are,
Immigrants. Yeah.
even though we are how we are victimizing them, even though we don't have any power over them. I mean, those are the ones that I'm having more of an issue with, and they tell lies about us. So I do feel like we have every right to kind of give at
Hmm.
least some kind of pushback. And if this
Hmm.
petition helps with that, then so be it. I mean, we didn't ask for it
I'm
to
not
have
gonna
to do
lie, I
that.
don't watch. I don't watch a lot of that content, so I wouldn't even know who is who in that space. But
Mhm.
I definitely have heard other channels, though, making like anti Latino or just immigrants in general, Africans, Caribbeans, content. So yeah, I don't agree with anybody making hate content, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm also, I'm in the middle of everything. You guys know that.
Yeah.
I'm also for free speech in America and all those good things too. So, I don't know. That's why I say no comment, because I really don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. No
Well,
problem.
Hmm.
one thing I do believe that everyone has a right to express themselves. At the same
Hmm.
time, there should be mutual respect given.
There should be, yeah. In an ideal
Okay.
world, yes.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we have extremists, not just among FBA, we also have extremists in among the Latino community as well.
We got them too.
I know,
That's what I say.
Yeah,
I
there is a
know,
Every
faction.
group.
Yeah,
I know.
there is a faction. There is a faction that they could be doing better. No, we're not denying that happens. That is a thing. It's just that we're not gonna be supporting that. We're just not gonna be
Hmm.
supporting it. Wrong is wrong, and where we can say, okay, that's wrong. That's not cool. That's not what the culture. That's not really what our culture is about. I mean, because contrary to what they might say, our cultures are not based on thinking that another race of people is inferior. That's really not what we're taught. There are certain
Yeah.
people in our societies that might believe certain beliefs, and they have been getting the wrong influences. But if you look at the culture itself, I can only speak about us Hispanics that are from the Caribbean because we know our heritage, we know our roots, what our roots are, and there was slavery in the a lot of slavery in the Caribbean, so we know our heritage. That includes
Hmm.
African. We do
Hmm.
have our own heritage when it comes to that. So that whole notion that we need to steal the culture from Black Americans, that's false. I mean, we
Do
don't
you
have
guys
to.
feel comfortable? Do you guys feel comfortable saying like which channels are they like targeting specifically? Because that's what I'm saying. I really don't know what's going on.
No, no. When it comes to the FBAs, you just look at the leader. I mean, the always says that he's not the leader, Tariq Nasheed. I mean, that's what
Uh-huh.
you need to look at. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
I
just
never watch his channel, so yeah.
No,
I
and
never
I
watch
know
him.
who he is. I know who he is because there was a time when I used to watch his content, but I'm talking about years ago when he used to talk about
Yeah.
dating, relationships, and that was more of his thing. And what he was talking about was more universal, so somebody like me could support that. But it's been in the
Hmm.
last couple of years when he started with the whole FBA thing. That's something that he came up with it because he was. Kind of like distancing himself from the figureheads or the faces of the ADOS thing,
Hmm.
and then he started the whole FBA thing. But he goes more to the extremes and always trying to convince his people that either um, like people that are from other parts of the world, like people that are actual continental Africans or people that are from the Caribbean, that they're the enemy and they're the ones that bring madness. They want to do something to people that are Black Americans and uh, kind of like blaming. The moment that kind of wanted to stop listening to what he was saying was when there was one instance in which he was blaming issues of diseases on people from the Caribbean, and me being from the Caribbean, I took offense to that, and that's when I kind of started stepping away from what he was talking about, because I started to see what the hustle was, and yeah, it's been getting worse ever since. Like always blaming us or black people with foreign accents and names. Uh, that kind of thing. I couldn't. No. I have to step away. Oh, okay, he's promoting hatred towards my kind. So nah, I'm not watching anymore.
Have you ever noticed though, as these groups or movements or different things grow, they do tend to get more extreme? I feel like that's because it attracts more subs, more views, more clicks. I feel like this is all a game on YouTube, and these people, half of them aren't even serious.
No,
Well,
it's not serious. I mean, it's a hustle.
But
It's
it
a
has
hustle.
serious consequences though, like,
It could.
on the culture. Yeah. Hi
Yes, it
Reese.
could. Yes, it could.
Because there's a lot of
And
nut jobs watching this, taking it as Bible.
oh yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah. Those are the people that don't do their own thinking. They don't do their own thinking. They don't do the critical thinking. They don't stop for a moment and say, "Okay, what's up with what he's saying? Is there an actual basis to this? Is this actual real life?" And it's not. This is YouTube beefing, YouTube drama. Yeah, don Jose.
yeah, yeah. But but the reality is this: um, creators that try to bring positive or educational content, their growth is smaller and slower because unfortunately, people are attracted to um, the mess, so to speak. So I'm very happy with the amount of growth that my channel has gotten because so far this year I've gained 95 subs and it's pure content, nothing going negative or going, just being positive.
Awesome. Awesome job. I give everybody the advice, do what the hell you want to do on your channel, because it's true. As long as you're happy with it at the end of the day, then you're good, because people do want to see drama. They will judge you for drama, talk shit about you for drama. But if you upload positive and negative videos, you're always going to have more views on negative videos. It's just how it is in entertainment in general. So I
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
say do whatever makes you happy on your channel and F what everybody has to say.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna be 60 in less than 2 months, so basically I'm at the age there. I really don't care. I mean,
You also want to find your tribe. Like, you want to have a group of people that resonate or relate to you. So you just do whatever feels right for you, and your
well,
Mhm.
crowd will hopefully reflect that.
I'm
Right,
happy
right.
to say that I have a very wonderful, excuse me, support group. In fact, sorry. In fact, Ramon is part of my support group, and then there's others, which I like to refer to them as the uncommon folk. That's my name for all the people who support my channel.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Mhm. Well, I guess I'm part of that group too, huh?
Yes, you
Hey,
are. Yes, you are.
yeah.
Yes, you are. No, seriously, you are. Okay, I have
And you're part
no.
of mine as well, both of y'all.
Thank
So,
you,
we're all fam over here.
thank you.
Yeah, it's all love.
Um,
It's all love. Mhm.
Perhaps you want. I think you're going to do a stream later tonight. If you want to talk about it briefly.
No, I'm just gonna leave the cliffhanger on that or whatever. You
Okay.
know, it's just it's a little messy boots title, so we'll just let that linger. Look at Reese. He said, "Hang with the Eskimos."
Well, I mean, Reese is right. You should hang with the Eskimos. You like the cold so much.
Oh my gosh, let me tell
Okay.
you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Reese has been on Melanie King's show, I believe, twice. I don't know if you guys follow his channel, but it is so cute to watch. It's so weird. It looks like she low-key likes him. You guys got to check it out. Check out his channel. And the last two interviews, she was talking about him going on a podcast and all this other type of stuff. I'm like, Melanie low-key likes Reese in a way, like, YouTube way, I would say. You guys have to check it out. Check out his channel and then videos, and then give me your opinion next time I talk to you.
I did see partial of one of his, and I think it's very interesting. Um,
He went back.
mhm.
That's a good look though for you, Reese. Hold on,
well,
what is Tim talking about? What's up, Tim?
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The trolling. Here comes the trolling. I
Okay.
Tim
mean,
always trolls.
Well, as long as it doesn't, is okay. I don't mind a little trolling, as long as they keep it respectable. When it gets to, when it gets too messy, that's when I draw the
yeah. Yeah.
line.
He wants attention. I'm not even. I'm not even gonna touch that. But the thing is that that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I mean, at least
Yeah.
when the guy was a little more level-headed, he was attacking those that were kind of like proven to be the suspect white supremacists. I mean, and they were giving those hints, and that was the criticism for not all white people, but
Hmm.
again, that has to be spelled out for you, Tim. Then you are being a little slow. So yeah, keep on
Yeah.
trolling.
A lot of
Well,
people come out and go for white people first and then switch up. I mean, Cynthia G did that. Like when she first came out, she was like against supposed white supremacy. So,
Hmm.
and now it's against black men. So a lot of people flip their platforms, and your audience, some will stay, some will go.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
because
I mean, what happened? Uh-huh.
so there are people that don't like change. They're used to a routine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they subscribe to your channel for a specific reason. So they like to see that when they go there. But the people that really resonate with you, like I said, and like love you or ride for you, they'll go like wherever you go in your content.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
look, the bottom line is this. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that this is a safe zone for everyone to express their point of view. And if we disagree, we can learn in disagreements. I mean, there's only one person that's been banned from this channel for obvious reasons, but everybody else, more than my cyber home is your cyber home.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and you're welcome to my channel anytime too. So if you're subscribed and hit the bell, then you get the notification, of course.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
I think I
Dang.
got your last one.
Yeah, and
Okay.
no, I mean you can check. Yeah, yeah. If anything, you can check out the playback. And but I did have a chance to talk to you in in an earlier live, but you came in kind of like at the last moment. But still, we had a chat. We had a conversation. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that last one. That was a good conversation actually. I was tired though. I had to go, but that was a good conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Which one? I talk about Ramones or Mimes.
I don't remember, to be honest. It might have been actually, I don't know. Was it on your channel, Jose? I don't know, maybe. The one that I came
It
in at
could,
the end and then had to go.
okay, you know
Hmm.
what? It might have been regarding feminism.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So my stream
Well,
is
Okay.
kind of based around that in a way because there's been a lot of I'm sure you guys have probably seen. It's been a lot of. That's why I put my title like that with the pygmishas and the feminists and the manosphere, because everybody's like, throwing the labels around on people. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
I
Hmm.
see.
Well, well,
Boricua, you need to come and represent for the manosphere.
Uh, no, I mean, when I try to represent masculinity the best way I can, but
Hmm.
on an even keel type, not masculinity, what you will call toxic, which is something that I hate. I hate that with a passion. When every demonstration, every time somebody shows a little bit masculinity, they start certain types of women start calling it toxic because they can't handle it. They can't handle it. They want every man around them to be some kind of beta that they can control and walk all over. And I don't do that. I don't do that. There
But
was a time in my life.
do you
Yes,
agree that toxic masculinity does exist though in some people that are weird?
I um I believe that
Mhm.
there are guys that maybe because they can't uh they're not very good at interacting with women, they can come across as misogynist. Yes, but the whole toxic
Mhm.
masculinity, that's a recent invention by the feminists. One is a man, is a masculine man, or
What's the
they have
difference
kind of like,
really? Is it just like tomato, tomato? Like what's the difference between the two
no, no,
words
no,
really?
toxic masculinity and just masculinity. It's not really the same thing. I mean,
Of course.
if you take the whole masculinity, or in our culture what we call being macho, it's just being masculine. That's what macho means.
Hmm.
And but taking it all the way, I don't think the feminists themselves know what toxic masculinity is. That's basically they're trying to call us misogynists, all of us. I mean,
Hmm.
because remember, it comes from the feminists. The feminists don't make any sense, and they're not supposed to make sense. The whole toxic masculinity thing comes from them. That's
Yeah.
not. It's not like a real term. It's something that basically they want to call us all misogynists, but it will expose them for who they are, which is misandrist, which is
Hmm.
the men haters. It will
Hmm.
expose them for what they are. That's why they have to kind of switch it up with the semantics and call us all that take pride in being men and take pride in being masculine. They want to call it toxic. That's a shaming tactic. It's shaming
okay.
tactic, shaming language, and no, I'm not going along with it. If I could consider myself masculine, hell yeah, I'm gonna be masculine. But that being masculine doesn't mean that I have to attack women. You don't do you hear me attacking women? I point out things that
No, I think
I
that's
did.
actually what makes them look not masculine is when you see them attacking women. You know what I mean?
Well, no, definitely. Those are like the real betas. They are emotional beta, emotional, whatever it is you want to call it. But the whole thing about what is called toxic masculinity, that's just masculinity being shamed for
Hmm.
being masculine. And they want to call it
Okay.
toxic because they want to kind of like tame us and get us to be more feminine, so they can have kind of like an upper hand over us. And I refuse. I refuse. I'm gonna be
Okay.
the man that I am. And I don't want the feminists to try to tell me how to act and how to be. No, no, no.
Okay. Well, excuse me, but we have to make a distinction between feminism in its original context and
Hmm.
militant feminism. We do have to make a distinction because feminism in its original form, the whole purpose is to make sure that women are given equal rights because
Mhm,
it's only within the last 100 years that the women are enjoying the rights that they have now. Okay.
mhm.
Now there are men that are toxic. We got to keep it 100. Are all of us
You
are
know what I
toxic?
was gonna say?
No, no. Some are. It's the same thing as far as women. Some women are
Exactly.
toxic. Not all of them are toxic. and we do have to make a distinction. And I actually made that distinction when I did my three-part series regarding toxic femininity and regarding feminism. Because unfortunately, when you mention the word toxic femininity, um, some ladies get very sensitive and thinking it applies to them. My thing is, if it doesn't apply, let it fly.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what is toxic femininity though? What's that?
What was
Because
the
I don't know.
question?
But what is it that you call toxic femininity?
Okay, toxic femininity is the situation where when women try to, instead of claiming equality but supremacy, how they should be worshipped and treated as super high class simply but due to the but virtue that they have the JJ.
No, but that's radical feminism. That's
I
Okay,
radical
think
but
like
feminism.
the ones that will accuse a man of like, rape or, sexual, like those kind, you know what I'm saying? Like the evil ones like that. I think that's
Yeah,
toxic
yeah,
feminism.
yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't think. Just like I don't think that there is such a thing. I don't mean to argue with trying to go against what you're saying. You may, Don Jose, you may believe that you're right on this one. But just like I don't think there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, I don't think there is such a thing as toxic femininity. I think there is radical feminism. That's what I will call it. That will be
I guess
kind of
I
like
equate them both the same in my mind. There's two words, like, it's like the same thing to me. So that's why I can go with the
exactly.
term.
That's what I'm trying to
It
say.
is the same thing.
That's what it sounds more like to me. Is kind of like the radicals, the ones that actually believe that the world would be better off if us men were to be killed off. That's what I. Yeah, when a war breaks out, they look for me. Definitely, when a war breaks out, the feminists, particularly the radicals, they switch it up real good, and they start reminding themselves that they are women, and that's when they want the men to fight the war, to defend them, to protect them. They're gonna want that. They sure as hell gonna want that. That's when
I
being at
don't.
home cooking, being at home cooking and cleaning starts to look real good to them. I mean, it's very convenient. Very convenient.
well,
Yeah. Yes.
It is
That's
because they got
how
bad
it
to
is
the
in the
point
world.
that it's turned society that like even if a woman like stays home and just takes care of the kids in the house and the husband, like then it's like looked down upon or something, which it's like no, that's not how it is. That's actually your first responsibility in life.
hmm
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's the thing. Who looks down on that, though? Who looks down on that?
Like the radical feminists is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, they're not trying, they're not trying to improve the lives of women. A lot of the women that drank that Kool-Aid, that they believed that what they were told about, that they will be better off without a man, that they could do it all by themselves, that they could be strong and independent. Those are the women that when they reach the age of what, 40 or so, they start getting worn out. They start getting worn out, they start getting tired, and that's when they realize that they were lied to. But sometimes for them, it could be too late because they're tired of it, but at the same time, they're kind of set in their ways, and they could be difficult to work with because they are used to be this boss bee, the boss bees, and they don't want to listen to what a man says. So they're kind of stuck. The damage has been done in a lot of ways. I mean, these women, they need help, counseling, therapy, whatever it is that is necessary, so they can kind of like being able to kick back, relax their mind a little bit, and kind of like being more open minded to actually have a nice interaction with somebody of the opposite sex. Because if this
Because there's a lot of men too that spend their whole lives fucking up and then they get older too and they're like, oh shit, I don't have anybody. And a lot of them die alone in nursing homes. So it's all of society. That's why this is just internet stuff to me where people just point fingers. Oh, it's the men's fault. Oh, it's the women's fault. It's everybody's fault.
Yeah.
No, I am not denying that there are these situations of these guys that are ending up in nursing homes and nobody goes to see them. Yes,
They
that is also a thing.
kids
That
or
is a thing.
parents to
I
go
have heard
visit
about it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have heard testimonies from kind of like nurses that works at
hmm
these facilities where there are these guys that they were players their whole lives, but maybe when they reached the age of 53, they had they had a stroke, or they had some kind of condition that limited their mobility to a great degree, so they ended up in some kind of a nursing facility, and nobody goes
yeah.
to see them. They don't get
Um,
visitors. Yeah, those are the player type that they cannot do that to themselves too. So I'm not gonna deny that is a thing. I mean, they did that to themselves because they couldn't have proper healthy relationships with a woman or the woman in their lives,
or their
and
children.
or their children if they have any. Yeah,
Mm.
that's a thing too. It happens.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. But one problem is we all at times we all need therapy, particularly when a relationship does not end well. Because
Mhm.
unfortunately, what happens is instead of getting the therapy that we need so we can heal from the emotional scars, we'll jump into another relationship, and what we do is we bring in the emotional luggage from one relationship into another relationship. So what happens is not only does that person receive more emotional damage, but the other person gets damaged as well, because unfortunately we didn't take the time to heal emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah. Really quick, Don Jose. There is something that keeps hitting your mic because I hear this loud thumping sound. I mean, like something is hitting your mic. I don't know what it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
but
know what?
I hear. Uh-huh.
Okay, you know what it is that whenever I get a notification, it makes a bump sound. So that's probably what it is.
Oh, a notification. Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
mm.
But
Okay. That could be if you're using
Am
your
I sure?
phone. Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
know if I'm really gonna go. Well, this is an interesting conversation to carry over, but it's
Hmm.
really also on how now people just throw those labels around because you see people arguing and they're like, oh, incels versus feminists versus, whatever, whatever, whatever. So I think it's gonna be a fun conversation.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, but
well,
the incels, that's something else entirely. And I keep saying, incels are dangerous. Incels are frustrated. Incels are if somebody is frustrated, sexually frustrated. That makes somebody dangerous. I mean,
Mm.
and one has to really watch out for those that they haven't done anything to up their game, and they don't have real social skills, and they are frustrated because of it, because that's what give you the Elliot Rogers types.
yeah,
So yeah, that was a big incel, and that's the one that went on that shooting rampage. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Before you go, Gigi, I do have a couple suggestions if you're willing to hear me out. I mean, just the suggestions on my part.
I'm always
Number
willing to hear you out.
Okay. Um, okay, you know what? I just want to make sure that it's understood, and I'm not trying to impose.
It doesn't mean
No,
I'll
but
listen, but I'm just joking.
okay, no, but one thing, I
Just
don't know if you
joking.
ever thought about creating like a Patreon account, so where you can put your content in, and then basically anyone that wants access will have to pay like a service fee, because I do notice that certain individuals just love to do streams on different nothing but reactions to certain creators. So that's just one suggestion. Another one, there is a feature in YouTube where if you want to limit the traffic regarding the trolls, you can set it that the only ones that can enter a comment into chat are people who are actually subscribed to your channel.
I know. You know what? Even better than just worried about trolls. Let me tell you why that feature is so good, because it forces people that want to be nosy to subscribe. And it takes a little bit more effort to go back and unsubscribe if they want to be petty. But a lot of people do that to get their subs up, because, a lot of people will just cloud watch you or catch the playback. But so it is a good feature.
Like I
And as
say,
far as the Patreon, I have so much work I need to do on my channel because I'm rebuilding it, but I just don't, I have limited time. So little by little, I'm not going to do a Patreon until after I get monetized again.
okay. Like I said, Gigi, it's only a suggestion on my part. I'm not trying to tell you
No, I
how to do
appreciate it.
because I do have a great deal of respect for you.
Thank you. I respect you as well. I do want to look into that Twitch thing as well because I still haven't done that just to see what's going on over there. What do you need over there?
Okay. Well, you see, I have StreamYard. The difference is the version that I use. I pay like a monthly fee, so I can have up to 9 guests on my platform, and with that, you can go on up to 3 different platforms. Like tonight, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So sometimes I'll switch from Twitter to Twitch. I just need how to
Twitter,
um
how is it over there? I heard it's, whatever, but do you have a lot of followers on Twitter?
um not okay. I have some followers in Facebook. I don't think I have a lot of followers in Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'll just switch it off. Particularly when I'll use Twitter particularly when I do streams in Spanish. In fact, at the end of this month, I'm going to be doing a two-part series regarding what we can learn regarding our community completely in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay, that's cool.
yeah, because there is the Latino community that's not English dominant.
Yeah, huge, huge audience. Mm-hmm.
Yes, even though my Spanish is kind of sounds like a gringo, but at least people can understand me.
It is gringo. It is gringo accent. But no, but you can still communicate, and that's good. That's good. You have to keep
Hmm.
at it.
Definitely
Yep.
should be capitalizing on that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also it keeps the trolls at bay because they don't unless they understand Spanish, they're not gonna hop on.
Well, there's definitely Spanish trolls. You just haven't
Oh,
met
I'm
them
sure
yet.
there are some. Yeah, I'm sure that there are those too. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Um,
Is that
I did.
weird to you guys when people say Spanish for like everybody? Because they do that here in Florida. Like when we say Spanish people, it's just like a broad term. You know what I mean?
It is weird to me because that's not a term that I used growing up. I mean, if you one is
Hmm.
Puerto Rican, then they're Puerto Rican. If one is Mexican, then they're Mexican. That's what they're called. If somebody is New Yorican, then they're called New Yoricans. Unfortunately, it seems like in the Northeast, particularly, anybody who is Hispanic or a so-called Latino, they refer to them as Spanish. Okay,
No,
if
here in
somebody
Ohio
wants to
too.
call them well, somebody calls somebody Spanish. Okay, but what part of Spain are they from? That would be my question, and they're not gonna be able to answer that because they're using the term incorrectly. I mean, they were
Yeah.
using the word incorrectly. They're calling somebody who is Hispanic or Latino a Spanish person. Okay, it's the person from Spain, and if the answer is no, then they're not Spanish. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. But a lot of people don't want to use more of a well, I guess a more accepted term because neither Hispanic or Latino are proper terms. Those are also colonizer terms. Those are terms that were made up by colonizers. That's
Yeah, I
why
don't think people know what to say. Because I be wondering if I'm using Latino wrong or something. I think people don't know what to say to please everybody. But I think that people just say Spanish because they grew up hearing that. Because they do it here in Florida for sure.
Well,
They just
in
say
in my
Spanish people.
well, you see, in my case, if you refer to me or as Hispanic or Latino, I'm not going to get offended because because I understand where you're coming from. Now, you do have certain members of our community that would prefer to call themselves Hispanic or person or call themselves Latino. And then you have certain other subgroups like Afro Latino, Latinx, and things of that nature. So it gets a little crazy with all the subdivisions and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I just want people to refer to me as being Puerto Rican, and that's it. That's good enough for me because all of these other sub terms and variations, and the one that
Religions are
I
a
hate
problem.
the most, the one that I hate the most is when they try to call us Latinx. I hate that term because it's a recent
Mhm.
one. It's something that was made up recently. I hate it. I hate it because that
I still
X
don't really know
means
what it means, to be honest. I don't even know what it is. I don't get it.
no, they're not going to be able to explain it, but I can tell you, I'm sure that they're trying to attach sexuality to it because it's for that's the term for so-called Latinos that don't know who they are. They don't know what the hell they are. They don't know what gender they are. They don't know what sexuality that they have. That's what the X is about. The X means something that you don't know what it is. So these people don't know what the hell they are. They don't know who they are, and I'm not gonna be one of them. Just refer to me as being Puerto Rican. Is if either Hispanic or, or Latino can be used, well, I guess I can go with Hispanic because in the when it comes to language, because that will be accurate. The other language that I speak is from what used to be called Hispania, which is now called Spain, right? So Hispanic is okay by me when it comes to language. That's it, because that's not. I guess one can say that that's an ethnic group, but not everybody agrees with that. So because there is no solid set definition of the term, then okay, I'm just Puerto Rican then. I'm just
I
Puerto
have
Rican.
people in my family, like that are Puerto Rican, and they say that too. They say Spanish. They be like, "Oh, the Spanish lady." Hmm.
No, no, but that's a reference to Spain, and even though there are many people, many of our people that whose ancestry may trace back to Spain, yes, but not all of us, not all of us, not all of our ancestry, not always traces back to Spain. It could trace back maybe to Italy, or to Germany, or to the Corsicans. A lot of people don't know about it. There is a place in the Mediterranean Sea that is called Corsica, and there were many of the people there that migrated to the Caribbean. Many of them ended up in Puerto Rico and in what is now the Dominican Republic. And there are some of them, they have these Italian sounding names. So not everybody who has an Italian sounding name is necessarily Italian. They may be Corsicans. So
Hmm.
that's kind of like another thing.
I
Uh,
never heard of a
so
Corsican.
yeah. That's something that
Mm.
I remember. I remember when I was a kid. I don't know if my grandma was that, but that she will use the word Corsica as part of as an exclamation. Uh, when she was mad about something, she will actually yell out the word "Carajo, Corsica." She will actually say that. My grandma. Well, yeah. And I always come, okay, what is that about? What's Corsica? And then when I started hearing more about it, and that's kind of like a people from a part of the Mediterranean, I believe it is, that were called the Corsicans. The Corsicans, because they come from a place called Corsica, and I think it's an island in the Mediterranean, I believe. So
Now,
yeah.
now another thing to bear in mind that there's certain words they mean one thing to one to Puerto Ricans, they mean something else to Dominicans, that means something else to Mexicans and what have you. Like for example, um, we have a word coger. That's the Spanish word, you know, to grab. Okay, um, in in for us, it just means to grab. To certain to certain other cultures, if you say the word coher, it means, how can I say this?
To have
Starts
sex.
with
That's
say starts with an F, it ends with a K.
yeah, yeah, yeah. To have sex, but the four-letter word for for the
Mhm.
act of sex.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
And
depends on where you're. It depends on where you're at because and because I have been saying coger meaning to grab, coger algo meaning to grab something. I have been saying that my whole life, but I know that I can't really say that around the Mexicans and Mexican American people that I that I work around because that they might get the wrong idea as to what I'm trying to say. They might think that I'm referring to something else,
Yeah.
to that four-letter word, and I try
Mhm.
not to say that around them. I mean, yeah, those are kind of like the little linguistic differences that we could have. So I know what I know what you're saying, Don Jose. I have seen that also because I live in the south, and largely the Spanish speakers that I'm around are either Mexican or Mexican American. That's the majority of them here in Texas. So there are certain linguist differences, and that's one of them. That I try not to say that around them.
yeah, 3 years ago I was in Mexico for a week, so I have to remember, instead of using the word coger, use the word tomar to make sure I don't
Yeah,
say
which is the more proper. It's the more proper word to use. I agree. It's just that well, us in the islands just talk a certain way. That's what it is. That's just what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it just makes us all the more interesting. Don't you agree, Gigi?
Hmm.
Of course, for sure.
So but as it's always good and bad in every group. And believe me, when it comes to the bad apples in our sector, we make sure that we made it known that these individuals do not represent us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to certain types, saying that is not enough for them because they want their feelings to be catered to, and I'm not about to do that. I mean, I could make a disclaimer if they are listening, great. If they're not listening, then that's their problem because I'm not here to cater to somebody's feelings. I mean, I have already said I will have already said what I have to say, and if they don't like it, I don't think that's good enough, then they're gonna have to sit there and thinking that that's not good enough because I'm not gonna go out of my way to make them feel comfortable. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah. And I said it many times. If you don't like my content, block me.
Mhm.
There are millions of YouTube creators out there that that, depending what is your genre, you can go and look for it.
Well, that's
Mhm.
because there's like, on YouTube you have people that are like your fans, and then you have people that love to hate you as well. So it comes with it.
Yeah, I have gotten a couple of haters that made their
But
presence
they'll
felt.
still watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, eventually our friend Ramon will be dealing with those unique characters. I mean, once his channel begins to grow.
Yeah. Well, eventually, if it is meant to happen, it's gonna be meant to happen. I
Well,
look
I know you
forward to
guys
it.
hang out in other places, but Ramon comes over and hangs out in the Golden Sphere too, so he's definitely getting
Yeah.
introduced to some.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have seen a couple of them that are kind of like the very opinionated, and there are those that can be very long-winded. I mean, they put me to sleep. I don't know. That's what the other one has to scream for. But yeah, yeah, one learns a deal about how different types and different characters can be. But I don't know, but there can be the type that can be very self-important, They think that it's all about them. I don't know. I don't know what's up with them. So I just let them be. But please, you have something to say. Don't be so long-winded. You're putting me to sleep.
Yes, I mean,
Go.
look, yeah, because
I
you
have
know,
to cut people off.
yeah, because I'm sorry, at times it's like it takes him 10 minutes to do a 2 minute address. It's like, okay, can you wrap it up, please? You know, because other people have a right to speak too. I mean, but you
Oh,
know,
definitely, definitely. And unfortunately, when you have larger panels of people, when you have
Yeah.
like 6, 7 people, there is always one who's the long-winded one. I mean, and
Hmm.
everybody else decides to so what I'm gonna be doing if I have a chance to have more people joining my panel, I'm gonna have to make the clarification early on. Like, okay, everybody, I want to hear what everybody has to say, but let's not be long-winded. Let's be kind of like be right to the point, make a summary of it, be right to the point, be yeah,
But
be
these
to
people,
the point.
you
There
can
are
tell
people
them
that
that and they still do the same thing. And so I'm telling you, you tell people that they still be like, "Oh my god!" And then sometimes I'll nod off, and then I'll snap back and be like, "Hey, okay, that's it. Who's next?" Like I'll zone out.
well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Gigi. But at the last stream I did, I was talking about how to interact with female co-workers in the workplace, and then all of a sudden it got into like a big side discussion regarding who's what and who's not Dominican, who's pretender, who's being and acting like a Karen, and it's like, guys, can we go back to the original topic, please?
Well, that's the
Mhm.
thing about chats. Some people are actively engaged, and other people are having side conversations at the same time. So that's usually how it goes.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, Tim, I was just making a general statement. Okay, so I was not referring to anyone in particular.
Tim be everywhere too.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, everyone's entitled to their point of view. Okay,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't have to agree with it, but they're entitled as long as they keep it respectful. That's fine.
Mhm.
So, and it's just that certain people that just want to get they want to be the center of attention all the time. So what's how you deal with it? Don't pay any attention to them. It's like depriving them of a drug.
You just cut them off, you know? Well, I know it's rude, but like, especially if you're on my panel, because like I say, sometimes I nod out or I'm doing something, or sometimes you just got to be like, yeah, force your way in there.
Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, a couple of times I have to step in. It's like, guys, can we just try to tone it down a bit? Okay, because
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely don't allow somebody to try to start an argument or a fight between panelists because sometimes it can get out of control. So I strongly urge you don't let that happen.
Hey guys,
no.
how y'all doing?
Good
Hey, how are you?
evening.
Oh, hey, Armando, ¿qué es la que hay?
Hey, yo tranqui, ya tú sabes.
Ah, muy bien, muy
Okay,
bien.
just I don't think Gigi understands Spanish, so let's try to keep it.
No, it's okay. Don't
All
worry. You're good. Talk how
right.
you
No,
talk.
you're
Hey,
good.
go.
I
I mean,
understand a
Hey,
lot more
Golden.
than probably
Hey,
most people. Not most people that don't speak Spanish, just because I heard it a lot. But hey, how are
yeah,
you?
I'm doing all right, Golden Goddess. It's a pleasure to see you again. How's everything?
Mhm. Everything's good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's my day off, so I'm just relaxing.
Mine too.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, that's
So
good. That's good on a Friday. That's
I
good.
know,
Hmm.
so
right?
Yeah.
so basically it's open discussion night.
All right.
So what's on your mind?
Well, what's really on my mind is let's see. All right. What's y'all thoughts on this guy? I don't know if this guy's condition because it hasn't really been updated. But what's your thoughts on Salman Rushdie, the attack? I mean,
Ah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I did a live about that actually. It was an open topic that I did the other day, and I was talking about that when it came to him. So the last thing that I read about was that he was recovering and he was talking and he was like in good spirits. But I don't know what happened with his eye because apparently he got stabbed in one of his eyes, and they were fearing that he might lose it. And so I haven't gotten to read any updates on what happened with him, which was very tragic. It was very unfortunate, but he's been dealing with this for the last 30 something
30,
years.
yeah, I'll say in like 32 years, matter of fact.
Yeah, because before after he released that book, and he knew that the book was gonna be controversial. He knew,
Yeah.
but I don't think he was expecting it um, to be so bad that they would have wanted to kill him. So
I mean, me personally, there's a lot of people that think about it. I got a
mm,
fatwa on me too, and a lot of people want to try to shut me up, try to dox me or whatever the case may be, just because, of
mhm.
how I look like or whatever. But I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say. The other day, certain people was like, "Oh, you're immature. You giving it to people." I'm like, first of all, I'm from the hood. I'm not gonna go around and say, okay, I'm professional or anything like that. But to me, if I come out unprofessional, okay, well, that's how I come out. I can't. I'm just letting people know what it is. Certain
Hmm.
people, they want to say, "Oh, you're not supposed. Why the heck you defending yourself? What the heck? What the heck I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to sit there and let people dictate my life on who I am and everything like that." The last time I know is that none of my critics or whosoever the case may be didn't give birth to me. So therefore, you're not going to go and try to tell me what to do in life.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. Well,
And the thing is though with Salman Rushdie is that I guess it was more bad for him because I guess of him being a former Muslim or whatever the case may be when he put out that book. There was like,
He,
oh, it was like, how can he betray us and all that stuff? So therefore, that's why it goes harder on him and maybe the people in Europe with Charlie Hebdo, whatever the case may be. But then you have to also realize that with some of these fanatical groups and everything like that, some of
mhm.
them are educated, but some of them are not. Like for example, some of these guys do not have like the basic maths or literary skills in their own language, let alone try to teach the youth English. You get what I'm trying to say? So so instead of like say you learn arithmetics and history, whatever the case may be, they'll be the one that they could recite everything in the Quran, but
Mm.
yet they will not know the right aspects on how to build their own house without it falling.
well, one thing I have to. One thing I'm curious is where was the heck security? Why was no sense of security there in that place? Because the fact of the matter is, I mean, he has dealt with death threats for the last 30 plus years.
I'm sorry,
For
excuse me. Excuse me. Jose, I gotta get down because I want to try to get a nap in before my stream.
Okay, well,
So
thank you very much for stopping by, Gigi.
you're
And I just want to
welcome.
let everybody know if you have not done so, please subscribe to Gigi's channel and just check her content. Thank you very much, Gigi.
Thank you, Jose. Bye guys. If you guys can
But
come through the stream, okay?
sure
Okay,
Bye.
thing.
I'll be
Thanks for
definitely
calling by. Take care.
Okay, bye.
okay. But getting back to someone wish rushing. I mean, well, I mean, I like to know why they didn't have some sort of security system or something in place So in case anyone was to try something stupid, they could have, prevented
I
him from
mean
getting.
that. I mean, they had two cops, but then the thing is, though, is like, what is two cops? You get what I'm trying to say? So I guess he was. I guess if you actually look at it, right? Like, okay, he's been a target for all these years, and he coming into it was upstate New York that it was not they don't think it's like a high risk threat because it's not cosmopolitan. It's a city. It's just a little town, whatever, or university town, if you might call it that. So they just thought, oh yeah, it's a low risk place, so we're just gonna put two cops right there, not knowing that this guy just actually bought tickets just to do what he had to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
there was no screening for access, so that nobody would come in with a weapon. I mean, it would have been just common sense, but they got too comfortable. They thought that the whole thing, there was nobody trying to hurt him after all these years. And some of the militants, these fundamentalist militant types, they have long memories. I mean, they're not gonna forget that so easily. Sure, there have been words of condemnation by many people in the Middle East uh, for what this guy did. I mean, like people all the way out in Pakistan, they were saying that was bad, that was considered unacceptable, and people in India because the man is East Indian. He's East Indian, but maybe with a from a Muslim background because there is a Muslim minority in India. Uh,
Hmm.
so he did use all of these names of prominent figures in what is considered to be Muslim people's veneer revere figures that have to do with what is considered East Muslim history. Um, but yeah, it was a major failure there. They didn't use common sense to make sure that they had some proper security for the man. Uh, I don't know what they were thinking or what they were not thinking. More that would be more accurate. They didn't think. They didn't think. I mean, the civilians, people that were in attendance, had to wrestle the guy down. There was another guy that they were having an interview with that apparently helped wrestling the guy down, and he also took like a stab on an orbital socket. He had kind of like a patch on one of his eyes, and because apparently he got a cut there. But I don't think he was gonna lose the eye. But Salman Rushdie himself apparently he got injured in one of his eyes, and several other stabbing wounds, including one in the liver. But I'm not. The only thing that I'm reading more recently is that there was kind of like a gathering of people, and they were gonna read some of his works. But I'm not reading anything right now about his condition. He may be recovering, but I don't know about him losing an eye or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. Now, one thing that I would like, us to consider. I mean, we all know who we are as individuals, and unfortunately, we're going to have people that's going to think otherwise. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, when everything is said and done, we are accountable only to ourselves and for those of us who believe in a higher power. I mean, people will say whatever they want to say. So that is a reality.
Yes.
So, but it's just that, like, and at my stage of life, At this point, I really don't care. Those who don't hang
Mm.
with those who don't hang with me, I mean, they don't know me. They don't. I mean, and I don't care to know them. So that's it's their issues. They're the one with the issues, not us.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mhm. So I think Donna Mom, are you going to be doing a stream later tonight, or
Oh
is it
no,
another?
it's gonna be tomorrow because I'm like, in respect to all the streams and everything like that, I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow. It's about open topics, so anybody is very well to attend and stuff. So
Mm,
I'm still trying to get like, how should I say, my Photoshop and everything like that. So therefore, whenever I do my segment on hip hop, so it could look more professional. Whenever I talk to certain people about what has happened and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
I see.
Well,
yeah.
well, I'm happy. Well, I'm happy with the fact that so far this year I've gained 95 subs.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's
That's
Yeah.
good.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do more streams so I can get my count up. Yeah, I know, I know. It's just that lately my mind for some time, as you guys know, my mind has really been on something else that has got me distracted. So I have to eventually check that off and get back to the reality of things. Uh, because it's been difficult. It's been difficult. You know what I mean.
No, believe
Yeah.
me,
Oh,
we understand.
we
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah, we understand
and I
very.
appreciate it, guys. But Don Jose, there is something I have to tend to, so I'm gonna be stepping out. I
Okay.
appreciate you having me on your panel, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Great open topics, great open topics. We need all of us need to do some of that because there are always different things that we have in our minds that sometimes it will do us good to talk about them to get it out of the of our system, so we don't have everything all bottled up. And I think this is good. This is a good thing. And I was thinking about something like that, but you cannot beat me to the punch. I'm not mad at you. So yeah, yeah, you beat me to it. So no, but it's great. It's great. We still get to gather and talk, and I will be looking forward to the next one. And Armando, you said that you were gonna do something tomorrow, so
Yes.
I'm gonna try and look out for that so I can see what you're gonna be doing. So look
Yeah,
Right.
forward to
definitely.
yes, yes. Don Jose, thank you for having me. A
Okay.
shout out to Don Armando and shout out to
Yeah.
to the chat too. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be stepping out now. Then you guys take care. Thanks for having me, Don
Okay.
Jose.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
So, anything else on your mind before I stop to wrap this up?
All right. All right. One thing is like, okay, I'm trying to I'm looking at all these old fonts and everything like that because because I'm gonna try to do it as far as do the fonts. I guess like the old time fonts, but then some of them don't have numbers on it. But I'm just looking at some of these vintage fonts, so therefore it could have like a rustic feel. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're talking. You're trying to find a particular look, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like a traditional 70s, like maybe 60s, 70s look, but then
Um.
as far
Mhm.
as lettering. So I'm just looking at that now, but since you're of that time era, maybe you could you might have more stuff because you might have seen products and everything like that, with that type of lettering.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I mean, look, I was a kid in the '60s and the '70s. I mean, I do know that that the font had a particular typical look. And you just have to be, uh, I think, creative because if
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know if you noticed that I use different fonts when I do my what you call it my thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's just a matter of just trying to find something that it's more within your artistic field
Yeah.
because it's really no right or wrong when it comes to things of that nature. It has to do with your personal preference and your style.
All right.
So I don't know if that helps in any way.
I mean, it actually does.
Mhm.
Thank you, Don Jose.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Look, we're here. Look, we're here to do what we can to to support each other because we're all trying to um, increase our influences as far as YouTube creators. And the fact of the matter is, it's not an easy job to try to grow a channel with respectable content because unfortunately, those creators that like to do wretched streams, they get more views.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the reality, and I'm not going to put down anyone that goes down that route. I mean, they're perfectly fine to do whatever they want. It's their platform. It does that in my case, being that my name is attached to the platform, um, I try to make it more respectable. And plus, I want to create a safe zone for everyone to express their point of views, even when we disagree.
Thank
Sometimes,
you.
yeah, you're welcome. And sometimes it can get a little spicy, so to speak.
Yeah, but it's funny talking about the spice and everything. It's like, for example, right? I guess this guy by the name of Freddy Krueger is talking about toxic masculinity and LGBT. So I don't know what that's talking about, but I hope he does come up to elaborate with that because I've been hearing about that topic for several days or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
So, and there's a lot of stuff that I've been seeing like I within society. Like for example, I don't know if you're familiar with the term incels, but then certain
I
people,
Yeah, I've heard of.
yeah. So I've been watching like a whole bunch of YouTube documentaries about that, and it's it's very appalling on how technology could actually make a person lazy if it's not
Yeah,
used right. And they're blaming themselves, or I guess they have like a certain thought process that they believe that a woman is supposed to be with them, but yet
yeah,
they're not putting out the effort or whatever the case may be. So therefore, that's why I guess they band up and they called themselves involuntary celibate, whatever the case may be.
hmm,
So it's very interesting because incels, I guess they were there, but then I guess there wasn't technology to be about that. Like maybe back in the 60s or 70s, you just call that person, I guess, unlucky at love or whatever. But now they have a name or a community, which is called in- incels or involuntary celibate.
yeah. Of course, the female version is fem cells. But you know what's the problem is that you have um you know female YouTube creators um like Christina, like Denise. You have Golden Goddess. You have while she was active, the Hominy Pill. and other, and other female YouTube creators. I mean, they're all very intelligent. They're all very beautiful. And the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, you have certain people that treat YouTube like it was Tinder or
Yeah.
Bumble, and they get upset if if they if they don't if their advances are not accepted by these ladies. The problem is first of all, it's the way that you approach them. I mean, it sounds very creepy and cringy.
I
And
mean, the thing is though, talking about creepy and cringy, right? And when I had that argument with this guy, Embra, right? So when I'm talking to this guy, he's going as far as a diss. If you're gonna diss me as a man, diss me as a man. This guy was bringing up all type of pegging and everything like that. I'm like, yo, this guy's a clown. Like for real. I mean, if I'm gonna diss you, I'm gonna diss you. He wants to try to bring up pegging and everything like that. And I guess he heard my wife's voice. He went up and tried to talk about my wife even more and everything like that. I said, like, come on and say it to my face. I saw him. Matter of fact, I saw him in the Dominican parade. He ain't do nothing. He's just a big old tall bitch. So that's all I got to say.
okay,
And my thing is though, I'm saying, but going back to the topic of incels, right? It's alarms me because I know certain people. I mean, well, it's in my everyday interactions with people and such that they don't identify themselves as incels, but they do incels stuff activities as far as going in on a woman, insulting them and everything like that. They insult them so bad that they think that you would think that they hate the woman, but the fact is that they actually somewhat are attractive to the woman, and then well, let's just say that they pleasure themselves.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so so
yeah,
so
I
so
get.
so it's like, okay, so you're doing all this because you think that that woman is going to like you. I don't. That's one thing I don't get. It's like you're afraid to make a move, but yet you want to go and wallow in your self pity and say that nobody like you, but yet you're not progressing to make the move. If you're afraid to be rejected, okay, rejection happens, and I've been rejected from the time I was 16. But guess what? I don't count the rejections of the females that rejected me because there's some woman out there that will like you. Now the thing is though, it'll be like, okay, if the female is good looking or ugly, that's the same thing because there is a lot of women, I guess, that would like a man, whether if the man is ugly or handsome or anything like that. But some females, they'll see the bottom line. They're like, okay, he might be a good provider. He might have like good morals or whatever. Or they might just see the other line. They're like, oh, okay, well, since I'm crazy, he's crazy too. So therefore, I think we're made for each other. That type of stuff. So therefore, sometimes opposite attracts, and
Mhm.
sometimes um similar experiences actually attracts a person also.
Yeah. Excuse me. I just want to acknowledge the presence of the Blazing King. Good evening, Blazing. If
Good
you want to
evening,
join,
Blazing King.
if you want to join the panel, the link is there. If you don't feel comfortable, it's fine. And I just want to let everybody know that Blazing King all has a YouTube channel. So if you're not done so, please check out his channel. And I'm sorry, Dynamo. Please continue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shout out to the Blazing King because that's a very insightful guy right there. And it's funny talking about these YouTube streets, right? I don't know how it jumped off between Radical and Zacharias, whatever. But it's like it's very interesting. So it's like, I mean, I'm just seeing like how this I guess this professional debacle will turn out. But it's actually funny. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, but okay, this is okay. This is my take, and actually, I did address this earlier because he had made certain accusations regarding Radical. All I'm going to say is the following: produce the receipts or recant your statements. Okay,
Right.
if you do either, it's all for clout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
and
some
if he gets, I'm sorry, and if he gets upset with me, oh how.
I mean, to me is this. I'm saying like a person could do certain stuff for clout, but just don't make a stupid lie that just doesn't how should I say, that doesn't make sense. Like for example, you got certain content creators that will actually come up and say that Christopher Columbus was the king of the Hispaniola. When you actually read when you actually read history books, and he died a pauper. The last time I didn't know that kings died as paupers. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Well, believe me, I have been accused of being a racist myself. Okay. But let me put it. But let me put perfectly clear. If you're gonna make that accusation, either produce the receipts or recant. Because if you do neither, it's all for clout.
yes. And to me, I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm honest with
Hmm.
myself every day. I'm an equal opportunity racist. And
Okay.
this is why and this is where it comes up to. And a lot of people think that okay, you're very racist. No, I'm not. I'm an equal opportunity racist. You give me an equal opportunity, then I'm a racist. Other than that, I'm cool with you. Now, anybody who actually lived in the New York City area, they laugh at that because they know what it is. Because think about it. When New Yorkers get into disagreements, right? You could
Hmm.
even have a person who's from Pakistan and a person from Dominican Republic. Whenever they get angry with each other, not knowing that they don't really know the English language well, but it's very interesting on how they actually curse each other out, not knowing the English language that well, but yet they'll know how to curse each other out when they have a disagreement. So
Hmm.
therefore, that's why I actually use this part of being an equal opportunity racist, because all in my life, I've actually seen equal opportunity racism. You get what I'm trying to say? Like a person could go around and be friends with somebody and they might have coloristic views or whatever the case may be. But then when somebody will try to disrespect you just because of your ethnic heritage or whatever the case may be, and fits of anger, even though it's ignorant, you'll have certain people that will actually diss each other and whatever the case may be. So therefore, that's why I say I am a equal opportunity racist, and I'm putting it out there. So it's not like I'm in no racist group or anything like that, but in certain cases in life, certain people, who are actually respectful, whatever the case may be, will turn out to be equal opportunity racist. So there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's just that certain people are not really that honest with themselves.
Hmm. Well, you see, I make it very simple. You cool with me, I'm cool with you. Point
Hmm.
blank.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's how I am, and that's how I am. I mean, if you don't want to hang with me, fine. You know what? it's your loss, not mine. Because when
Right.
everything is said and done, I have more people who will hang with me. Okay,
Exactly.
because I generally deal with people where they're at. I don't censor people, but yeah, I don't take disrespect either.
And that's what I like about you, sir.
Thank you. Now, the fact that there's certain people that cannot deal with me, that's their issue, And whenever you have anyone that will make accusations and they don't bother to provide the receipts or
Yeah.
recount, I've lost all respect because it's just a matter of clout. I mean, and again, and you don't. I mean, unfortunately, you have people that go that route, but not me. I have managed to keep it positive for a whole year.
Yeah.
I, okay, and with all the stuff I have to deal with, only one person has been bad, and 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 the reason behind that is that I'm sorry, no one is going to come on my platform and try to take over and trying to manipulate and prevent others from having a word in edgewise.
Right.
So
I mean, like, for example, even though that you did give me the wrench and everything, it was funny that on the other stream I was called a monkey or whatever the case may be because that person got banned. When the fact is, I bet I blocked that person's channel. So if I was to even bang that person, I could not even ban or restrict the person from anything because I already blocked them.
mhm.
Because I'm actually tired. Because I'm actually, how should I say, tired of certain people that don't know that to me that every time that I talk, they want to say that I get my information from Wikipedia or anything like that. But to me, they act like, okay, they do not like certain people, whatever the case may be, right? And they always want to compare me to this guy by the name of Corriente. Now,
Yes.
before I went to this stream or whatever, I was just an avid YouTube watcher. So when I started looking at radical and whatever the case may be, how I actually got introduced to, what this community is about, because after like my wedding and such, right? After I got married to my wife, I was looking at the comments, and there was speaking a lot of falsehoods of the late great Johnny Ventura. Now, Johnny Ventura, most men actually grew up on his music, like me. So when this guy was making a lot of historical inaccuracies regarding Johnny Ventura's life and everything, and there was a whole bunch of people that was actually dissing that man's memory, I had to straight up because I had to tell them, like, first of all, this guy's family was part of the Dominican military. So they went up and they tried to tell me, oh, there was a whole bunch of Haitians in the military. Now, there's a historical fact. When Trujillo was on his Dominican, not anti Dominican, on his anti Haitian stuff, right? So that means if Johnny Ventura's father was part of the military, and there was a part of that they said that Johnny Ventura actually not served, but he had to do a military service, which is that they teach that in the Dominican Republic at that time they taught boys who were 16 through 18 on how to defend the nation of the Dominican Republic. So every day until they were 16, when they turned 16 until they turned 18, they had to learn how to assemble and reassemble a gun at a moment's notice. I know because my father and my uncle were actually, like, in the late 1950s, they actually had to learn how to do that. through the Dominican army. So when I was reading about Johnny Ventura's life and everything like that, that was true. And the guy who was making these accusations later to find out was this bonehead Anthony Batista.
Hmm.
So I actually told him, oh, he was telling me, oh, you do not look like a Dominican. He was saying that he was saying that I look that your ancestors were slaves and everything. I told him this. I might have more Spanish blood than you do. But the thing is this: you're not gonna go and disrespect a man that was in my aspect was actually a patriot, was actually a guy that actually did good as far as doing good music. He was trying to do good for his community or whatever the case may be. And if people were and if a guy was mad just because of the respect that man had garnered, and you tried to downplay his legacy through YouTubes and everything, it's funny how this guy has made like maybe 5 channels and it all got shut down. So every time he gets shut down, he always trying to preach to people why it's bad, of why a Hispanic woman and a black man or a black Hispanic person should not be together. I'm like, I can't believe that we're living in 2022 and we still have to put up with this ignorant garbage. Not alone ignorant, but now this ignorant garbage has a platform on poisoning the minds of future intellectuals.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's why I'm very selective regarding which platforms I will enter and which platforms I will watch, because not every one of them is worthy of my time nor attention. And again, this is not meant to be a slight on any YouTube creator, okay? Because they determine how they run things on their platforms.
Right.
Here on this platform, we believe in civil talk. We believe in talking like adults and sharing views. And if our views clash, we can discuss them as adults. There is no need for name calling. There's no need for going ratchet. There's no need for anything. And I know people may not like it, but you know what? There are millions of different platforms where you can go and you can do whatever the bleep you want.
Exactly. And you could also get arrested. I don't advertise that. I'm just telling it what it is.
Okay. But
Yeah.
um, but do you have anything else? It's coming close to 3 hours, and
Well, okay. One thing I gotta say is this. Um, is about how should I say the code sphere, how you should say.
mhm.
Um, have you ever thought of going to Europe or Japan?
I've thought about it. I've never had the opportunity to do so. I would like to travel to Europe before I leave Earth, so to speak.
Yes. I mean, because since I'm just saying, because since you like the code and everything like that, I was just I I was looking uh at this guy who's also a podcaster in Japan, and he was going to like the coldest area in Japan. And for a minute, I was just thinking about you, how you
Mhm.
like the code and everything like that. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
you know,
Well, I do know I sometimes go overboard, but it's all meant to be tongue in cheek, and it's meant to be humorous, because the fact of the matter is, when you get on a topic for say 2 to 3 hours or so, you do have to mix in a little humor
Oh
because
yeah.
because believe me, 3 hours of nonstop talk without a little bit of humor is very, very boring. And
I'm
it put,
like I'm like, yeah, it is. You have to actually put a little bit of humor.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's just my way of the fact of the matter is, I find it amazing that um 95 people felt that this joined my platform, actually liked my content enough that they subscribe. I mean, because I was told really that I would never reach 100 subs. I have 134 now.
Yeah. I mean, talking talking about that, right? I mean, you know that you c- that you're living in Parkchester and everything like that. I mean, you could actually get more of a fan base, like say, like maybe one day if you go to Starbucks and everything like that. Because I know for a fact that back in the day, I guess way before the pandemic, a lot of intellectuals used to actually hang out there. I'm talking about teachers, I'm talking about professors. So therefore, I've talked and I've met you, and you're a knowledgeable man. So therefore, I'm thinking that I don't know what it is that they, even if it went back to its original setting because of the pandemic, but if they start having chairs and tables again inside the Starbucks, hopefully all these professionals, you could actually talk about your views and such, and maybe you could actually invite them into the panel too.
Yeah, actually, I think things is pretty much more or less back to normal. The only thing is, of course, you gotta wear a mask. Which
Right.
and the fact of the matter is, look, when I can understand people not wanting to wear masks because we've been dealing with this mask stuff for 2.5 years. So after a while,
Yes.
people are suffering from caution fatigue. And it's like we're constantly hearing about this variant and this variant, and then we have to get a booster shot, and then we have to get a second booster shot, and now we got to deal with monkeypox. So it gets very depressing after a while, and people get frustrated. It's like, when are we ever going to go back to normal?
This is what
And
my thing is this, and talking about normal, I don't see not one person holding one. And to me, certain people could say that it's racist or whatever the case may be, but you have to look at straight facts, right?
mhm.
It was, I'm not saying the Chinese people, it's the Chinese government that had let this happen, right? So my thing is, when are we, I'm talking about the West and the East and everything like that, when we're just gonna go and when the world is gonna actually hold China accountable for this disease? That's what I want to know. We could go
uh,
around and talk. We don't. We could talk about the trade and everything like that. But my thing is when we as a people, I'm talking about Hispanic America, Africa, Europe, America, Canada, etc. When are we gonna sit down and as soon as we have like a solid cure for COVID and all the variants and everything like that, when are we gonna go and we're gonna tell China or the Chinese Communist Party to their faces that we hold you accountable for this disease? That's all I
okay.
want to know.
My friend, it's more of a likelihood that I'll become Pope.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's let's keep it. Let's keep it 1,000. It's not going to happen because no one has the guts, if you want to
Yeah.
call it, to do that.
Or I mean, the people in the old school used to say moxie. I don't know what that means, but I've heard people use that also.
Yeah. But in any case, do you have any final remarks that you wish to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I thank you for letting me on this panel tonight. It's great to talk to you and introvert Boricua and Gigi.
Hmm.
And hopefully on your next stream, if I'm available or awake, um, we would actually get to trade ideas again. So it's been a pleasure, Don Jose.
Okay, well, thank you very much. There's not going to be a backstage tonight. Actually, I'm going to try to catch Gigi's stream. So, but I do appreciate it, and thank you very much. And I'll be looking forward to your next one, which I think is going to be tomorrow night. You said,
Yes,
okay, what time tomorrow?
like it'll be like around 9 or so.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll be looking for it. So thank you very much. And if you have not done so, please apply to Don Amando's channel and check out his content. So thank you very much. Have a good evening, and please give my founder's remarks to your better half.
thank you.
Okay, take care. Yeah. Now I'm going to give you my final words. The fact of the matter is, sometimes when it comes to open discussion, it can go on forever. But I do appreciate the interaction. And first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that entered their comments in the chat. I really appreciate all you very much. And I also appreciate everyone who appeared on the platform, which we had Golden Goddess, we have the Introvert Boricua, and we have Don Armando. So just want to, as a reminder, there's not going to be a call-in show on Sunday. There will be a call-in show on Monday night at 6:30. I'm going to try to keep it under 90 minutes because I do have an engagement later on. So Monday, there would not be a backstage. There will be a backstage most likely on Wednesday, possibly Thursday. But I do appreciate all the interaction. And we are, and again, the reality is that the reason why I have success is because of viewers like you who support the channel. I really appreciate you guys very, very much. And the fact there's still 5 people watching the stream, I find it absolutely amazing because it's a Friday night and you could be out there partying and whatever, but the fact that you saw fit to allow me to come into your devices and give up the time which you will never get back. So I just want to say thank you very much. Now, of course, I'm going to close the same way I always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future, and we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and mass insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. And I just want to say good night and peace out.
Be strong.